guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to play the introduction for Vanessa Carlton's 1,000 Miles. You've probably heard it before. It sounds like this. Now, we're only going to be going over the introduction part that you just heard, but if you would like the full song, the full sheet music, you can download it at the link below. Okay, now I've divided our introduction up into 3 parts so that we can work section by section so that we don't get overwhelmed as we're practicing. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at our music. So you can look at the music above the piano, and you're going to notice that we have 2 treble clefs, which just means that our left hand, instead of playing low in the bass clef where it usually plays, it's going to be playing higher up in the treble clef. The nice thing about playing in the treble clef is we only have to read treble clef notes. We don't even have to think about the bass clef right now. Okay, so we're going to use our tools to read our beginning notes. So we're going to use Face in the Space for the space notes, and then we're going to use Every Good Boy Deserves Fudge for the line notes. If you use Face in the Space, you'll find that the first note with our left hand, the bottom treble clef note, is F, and this is going to be the F above middle C. So I have middle C right here. I'm going to count up C, D, E, F. Okay. Our right hand note is way up in the ledger lines, and you could just count up from the second note, which is also a space note. So you would count Face in the Space, so it'd be F, A, C. So we know that this, our second note, is going to be C. You could just count up from there to find that it's going to be this high C up here. Okay, so these are our starting notes right here. Okay, now we're going to do hands separately first, and then we'll try putting it together. So we're going to do just our left hand first because it's a little bit easier. Okay, so I'm going to read my notes. I have F, and then I have G, and then I have E, and then I have F again. Okay, so left hand's pretty easy. You're just playing those 3 notes right there. Okay, so try left hand on its own. We're gonna play 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Counting our dotted quarter notes for 1.5 beats. Okay, now with our right hand, this is our starting position. And my hands are pretty small, so this is a bit of a stretch to get this octave. If your hand is bigger than mine, you may have a much easier time getting this octave. So, okay, so this is where our right hand is starting. We're starting on this high C, and we're going down to this low C, and then we're going right back to the C, and then we're going 1 step down to the B, back to the C, back to the B, down to the G. Okay, so this is our starting position with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? And then, do you see where the 3 is circled? That just indicates that our hand is going to be moving. So we're going to move our right hand so that now, if you can read that note, Face in the Space, it's an E. So this is C right here, so this is going to be E. So we're going to have finger 3 on E, and then we're going to play D, C, okay? So we move from this position to this position. So if you can get that hand position change, you're going to make it so much easier on yourself, okay? So here's what just the right hand sounds like for part 1. C, 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 B, C, B, G, hold on to it, and then we move finger 3 to E, E, D, C, okay? Try that again. C, 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 B, C, B, G, move your hand in, E, D, C. Okay, are you ready to try putting this together? Now you're going to notice wherever the right hand and the left hand match up with each other is where you're going to switch your fingers, okay? So, for example, the first note, you play this C together, right? And then you see the low C is all by itself, high C is all by itself, but then when we get to the B, that's where the left hand, see how it matches right up with each other? That means that we're going to change them together. They're going to come at the same time, okay? And then you'll notice that when you play the G up here is when you change your left hand, okay? And then when you play the E here is when you change your left hand again, okay? Okay, so we're going to play part 1 from the beginning, both hands together. Switch our hands. I'm going to do it again a couple of times. Switch your hands. Again. Switch your hands again. Okay, so that's part 1. Let's go on to part 2. Okay, so for part 2, left hand is going to be doing the same thing as it was doing before. It's doing the F, the G, end of that measure, but that actually goes into part 3, which we'll get to in a second. Let's move on to right hand for part 2. So right hand's gonna play C again. You'll notice that the finger 5 is circled because it's showing that we're moving. Our finger 5 was here and now we're moving it back up again, okay? So we're moving back up to that position. You'll notice we're playing C, then we're playing C down here, then C again, B, C, B, G. We're gonna play C again, G again, C. And then we move our hands again back to E, F, E, C, okay? So let's try that again. We're doing the same position change as we did for the first part, but this time we've just added in some extra notes, okay? So this is gonna be just our right hand for part 2. We're gonna play C, 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 B, C, B, G, C, G, C. Move our hands, E, F, E, C. Okay, let's put it together with our left hand, watching where the notes are lined up because that's where we're gonna play them together. Move your hand. Okay, so that's part 2. Let's do it again. Now part 3 starts at the end of part 1 and it just does the C down to the C. So the music is actually going to start at measure 5, but just know that we are going to be starting at the end of the second part with the C to the C. Hopefully that's not too confusing, okay? So here we go. I'm going to play just my right hand first, so I'm still on the C, then I'm going to play B, and then C, B, G. And then I'm going to change my position again, down to the E, E, D, C, E, D, C, E, D, C, and then I'm going to go all the way up to the G, and then I'm going to end on D. Okay, so that was right hand. Let's do that again, just that third part. We're going to play C, C from the last page. So we're going to play C, 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 B, C, B, G. Move our hands. E, D, C, E, D, C, E, D, C, G, D. Okay, once again, left hand's doing the same thing where you start on the F, G, E, F, F, G, E, F. Okay, let's do part 3, hands together. Here we go. Remember, we're starting with the part that's at the end of the second part, so we're gonna play. Here's where we move our hand, where we have the 3 circled. Okay, and that's part 3. So there's a lot of similarities between the parts, but then there are slight differences. So you wanna watch your music to make sure that you know what you're playing at each part. Okay, so now I'm gonna play the whole introduction from the beginning, parts 1 through 3. I'm gonna go nice and slowly. Here we go. Hand. Move your hand. I'm going to do it again a little bit faster.